Greetings, Star Wars fans. I'm back. I'm going to try to crank out a few reviews for you here on Christmas Eve, starting out with Episode 4 Cantina patron, Bom Vimdin. Here he is. Here's the card back. I hope you can get a good look at that card back, despite the fact there's Boba Fett stickers here. No original Kenner figure that I can find evidence of. In fact, I can't find evidence that they've ever made this guy at all. He is part of Wave 7. Here's the rest of the wave for you down here. I know a lot of you collect the Cantina as well as the Jabba's Palace figures, a lot like I try to collect all the Imperials, so maybe one of you could tell me, but anyway, I can find no evidence this guy has ever been made, so this may be an all-new figure. Here he is. You can take a good look at this guy's face and everything, compare it to the card back. They did a pretty good job. The paint and everything on this guy is just excellent. His uniform, the detailing on his uniform is excellent as well. Since they don't give information on these figures anymore on the back of the card back like they have before, they just have basically about the vintage collection, I did take the liberty of looking this guy up on Star Wars Wiki, and I will read to you about him briefly. I don't want to read everything, because that would be just too long of a review, but I will brief him for you. To start out with, he was a bounty hunter and a mercenary, and he was in the Cantina in Episode 4. You know that. Aaron Kraken didn't trust the guy. He wrote, Bom Vimdin is a true mercenary, one who would sell his soul, the fate of his people, and even that of the galaxy for a few credits. He cares little for what happens to those he harms, provided his credit balance in his account grows. So he's a pretty ruthless guy. His race, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right, is an Advazi. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Advazi smuggler and mercenary. He's worked for both sides. A lot of the guys you see, if you don't read the books of the Expanded Universe, you just see these guys randomly in the back of Star Wars. They all have some tale about them somewhere in some book or a comic book or something. There's some Expanded Universe information about them. Let's see, this guy worked for both sides, and he even worked for the New Republic when the Rebels established the New Republic to bring a lot of rogue Imperials in. He's been arrested numerous times by both sides, but he's got a spy network and a mercenary network that works for him. He either gets off because they can't plant any charges on him, or his people free him. So, he's just been a menace to the galaxy. This is what he looked like in the movie. I hope you can get a good look at that on my computer. Probably not. It's not that I just have a laptop, small screen. But anyway, we will move on to the figure. And as I've told you before, I am going to try to increase the amount of aliens I do. I've just done so much of the aspect of the military aspects of Star Wars. I've ignored a lot of the aliens. I'm trying to correct that. He comes with a few items here. To start off with, he does come with some type of blaster rifle. It's very close to the repeating blaster rifle the Stormtroopers have, but it's not quite that one. It does have a scope on it. Maybe it's an assassin's rifle with a scope. Maybe he's an assassin as well. Take a good look at that. They did a good job on this rifle. He does have a cup, because he's a Cantina patron. Here's his cup. Get him to hold his cup. I know also in the past they've done numerous attempts to recreate the Cantina, including in the 30th anniversary. They actually had figures, Cantina patrons, where you bought pieces of the Cantina with a figure, and you could put it together. And then they've done a couple of cardboard versions as well. But he comes with a blaster. The blaster does go in his holster. He has a working holster. Here's the blaster. I couldn't find names for these weapons, actually. But, actually, I couldn't find his articulation either. I couldn't find it listed on Rebel Scum. Usually they have these things listed, what their weapons are and everything, and their articulation, but I've got to best make an educated guess with this guy, so here we go. I've written down my best educated guess for articulation. He's got a ball-jointed neck. He's got, let's see, ball-hinged shoulders and elbows, swivel wrists. He's got a swivel waist, ball-hinged hips, ball-hinged knees and ankles. I did notice when I took this guy out of the package that the joints are very tight on him. They're very tight, and I like that. It indicates good quality, good build quality in the figure. So, this guy is excellent. And I know a lot of you people who've built your Cantina scenes, they've done Cantina patrons over the years, and they've done a few with each wave. The Saga 30th Anniversary, Legacy Collection, moving up. Some of the figures are older, and, maybe Power of the Jedi, Power of the Force 2, and you're waiting to update them as they make new figures. But I know that's the goal of some of you guys to make the ultimate Cantina scene. Well, if you're doing that, this is an excellent addition to your Cantina scene. Overall, I'm probably going to give him a 9, a 9.25. I'm not that experienced with rating the aliens overall, but he is an all-new figure. They didn't take the time to make an all-new mode with this guy. and he's definitely on my recommend list. So I hope you enjoyed looking at that guy as much as I enjoyed showing it to you. And this is Supreme signing out, and as always, thank you for tuning in.